And today I wanted to do a short practice all about hips, hamstrings, getting us towards closer and closer to Hanumanasana or full splits. Don't worry, you do not have to be able to do full splits to enjoy this practice. It'll be helpful to have some blocks, 1-2 blocks, perhaps a couple of soup cans if you need those, and a strap or a tie or a short towel or something like that to just help you reach your feet. And we'll start lying on our backs. So lie back and take your strap or your tie or your towel around your right foot, and then press your foot up towards the ceiling and bring your left leg straight out on your mat. And really push your left thigh into the ground and press your right foot up into your strap or your towel. And then you can bring your left arm out to the side. And by pushing your feet in these opposite directions, you start to warm up the muscles of your spine or of your legs and get a little more opening through your legs. So as you need to, you can pull your foot closer into your face. Try to keep your shoulders relaxed and start to take deep breaths in and out through your nose. The breathing will help calm your nervous system down, which will help release your hamstrings a little bit. And put the strap into your left hand, take your right arm out to the side, and bring your leg across just a little bit. We're not going to go all the way into a twist. Just bring it across a little bit till you start feeling stretching in kind of your outer gluteal region. And then again, push your foot into the strap and pull it towards your face more to get more stretch. Take a couple of deep breaths here. If you're doing this class early in the morning, just waking up your hamstrings early on. At the end of your next exhale, take your foot back up towards the ceiling and release it. Hug your knee into your chest, and let's switch sides. Draw your right foot out straight and bring your left knee in. Loop your foot. And then press your right thigh bone straight down into the ground and push your left foot up into your strap. And I really like to, if you have a strap and you've looped it, I like to make sure that my loop's at the right angle to where I can comfortably just hang on to it. But you can also double hold if you need to this way. Take some deep breaths right here, starting to open up your hamstrings. And with your exhales, that's where you'll slowly start to bring your foot towards your face if you need that. If you're feeling very strong feelings about this pose already, then you don't need to pull your foot any closer. At the end of your next exhale, switch hands. Draw your right arm out to the side and start to bring your left foot over across your body. Good. Push your foot into your strap. Then if you need more stretch, you can pull it towards your head a little more. So just using our muscles to actively open. It's really helpful to stabilize the peripheral area, which would be like your foot. And when you stabilize that by pushing your foot into your strap, which is that barrier, then you get more opening closer in where your hip is. At the end of your next exhale, bring your foot back up, release your strap, put it off to the side, and draw your knee into your chest. Good. From here, roll to your side and sit up. And we'll find downward facing dog. So come into your down dog. Should be a little more open in your down dog than you usually are first starting out. Ground down through your hands strongly, lengthen your spine, and then root your heels down toward the mat. You don't have to actually touch the mat, but press them down so that you really feel powerful in your legs. With an inhale breath, stretch your right leg up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, step your right foot through, in between your hands. Come up onto your fingertips, lift your back thigh bone up strongly, and look forward. On your next exhale, straighten your front knee or get it as straight as you can and bend your chest down. So you're just releasing wherever you kind of end up in this pose is fine. With your next inhale, come back forward and then step back, downward facing dog. With an inhale, lift your left leg, three-leg dog. Stretch your left foot up. Exhale, step through. Find your lunge. Lengthen out through the crown of your head. Take an inhale. As you exhale, straighten your left knee or get it straight-ish. Root down through your back heel. And on your next inhale, come back forward. Exhale, step back. Downward facing dog. Take a breath. With your next inhale, lift your right leg up. This time, press your left heel down and lift your right leg up more strongly. Lift, 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 lift. Lift it higher than you normally want to. And then look forward. Bring your right knee through, pigeon pose. So take your right knee right behind your wrist and walk your left knee back. Lower your knee down. And lift your heart up. So as you lift your heart up, reach your tailbone down toward the ground and then lift from your heart. So that you're not getting any crunching in your low back. You want to get more opening right up here in your hip crease. Breathe deeply. With each inhale, see if you can lift your heart further. As you exhale, sink your hips down a little lower. Take one more inhale here. As you exhale, take your hands down and step back, downward facing dog. On your inhale, lift your left leg, three-leg dog. And again, root down, press through your right heel, and then lift your left heel up high. Lift, 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 so that you're actively moving your legs in opposite directions. Take an inhale, and with your next exhale, step forward to pigeon. Bring your knee outside your left wrist, and then actually walk your right knee back. Walk it back, walk it back, walk it back, and then lower it down. And from here, reach your tailbone down as you lift your heart up. You're going to get a little more power that way. Take some deep breaths. Good. Take one more inhale, and then as you exhale, lower your hands, step back, downward facing dog, press back. Good. Take a breath here. Look forward, step your right foot in between your hands, come up to sort of a half standing split here. Now, you may want to have blocks. You can put blocks or soup cans or whatever you need underneath your hands here to give you some more height. If you can imagine that I have those. And then lift your back leg up. Lift your heart up. Press down through your right foot. Lengthen your spine. Inhale. As you exhale, fold your chest down and lift your back leg up at the same time. Lift, 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 lift. Doesn't matter how high it goes, just that you're lifting it. Inhale. Exhale, bend both knees. Sit your hips down. Good. Take your right foot across your left. Sit up nice and tall. Take an inhale, stretch your left arm up, and as you exhale, bring your left elbow outside your right knee and rotate. After your next exhale, release, come back straight. See if you can put your foot back down and step back into that warrior 3 type position. Inhale. As you exhale, step back to a lunge. Good. Lower your back heel and spiral up to warrior 2. Bend your front knee, anchor your back foot, and open the inside of your thigh. Exhale, bend your right knee some more. And then inhale, straighten your right knee out. Exhale for triangle pose. So your hand can come down to your shin, to the floor, or to a block. Rotate your heart open. Press out through your front heel and stretch your left arm up. Take one more inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Lunge. Step back to downward facing dog. At the end of your next exhale, step your left foot forward. Find a lunge. On your next inhale breath, step up. Find your half warrior 3 position here. And I like to point, so kind of point your foot and flex your toes back. Lift your back leg from your inner thigh, from your hamstring. Lengthen your spine. Breathe. With your next exhale, lower your chest down and lift your back leg simultaneously so you really get some good opening through your hamstring. On your next exhale, bend both knees, lower down. Cross your left foot over your right thigh. Sit up nice and tall. Inhale and stretch your right arm up. Exhale, twist. Right elbow outside your left knee. Place your left hand behind you. You can look back over your left shoulder and breathe. Going to give you a nice twist to your spine and open the muscles of your outer hip just a little bit here. At the end of your next exhale, come out of that twist. Stand back up onto your left leg. Stretch your right leg back behind you and lower your right foot down. Turn your right heel down, toes face sideways, and then spiral up for warrior 2. Bend your front knee. We're not staying here super long, so it's okay to really bend it and get that opening in your inner thighs. Look out over your front fingertips. Breathe. At the end of your exhale, straighten your front knee and find triangle pose. So your hand can be on your shin or your block or the floor. Rotate your torso sideways, look up, stretch your arm up. On your next exhale, bend forward, lunge. Step back to downward facing dog. Press back. From here, lower your knees down to all fours. Bring your right foot forward between your hands and come up onto your thigh. This is where you may want to strap or you may not. Bend your back knee, reach back and grab it. So you can sort of take whatever position you need to get hold of your foot and then push your butt back towards your heel and bend the whole thing forward. So get your rear back as far as you can and then start to lean forward. And you can flip your palm around to where your fingertips face up. Rotate your chest forward. And this is thigh stretch. You may have a nice little strap that you're holding as well, and that's A-okay. You also might be leaning forward a little bit more. That's okay too. If your thigh is stretching, you're doing it right. Take a couple of breaths here. This one adds both your hip flexor and your quad, the whole front of your thigh and hip, into this stretching game. And release. Take your hands down. Step back to three-leg dog. Stretch your right leg up. Stretch it higher, 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 higher. And then lower it down. Lower your knees and bring your left foot forward. Take your left forearm to your thigh and grab your foot. Reach your butt back to your foot. That's going to help keep your knee from getting that knee zinger. It's the best way I can describe that. You put your butt back to your foot and then bring the entire thing forward as you shift your hips forward. You may rotate your hand upward. You might not. Depends. Good. So even here, if you can tolerate any movement at all, you want to reach your tailbone down toward your heels. Some of you are laughing at me right now. That's okay. Take your chest, move it forward so it's going to face straight at the front of your mat. Some of you are laughing louder now. That's okay. If you're feeling a stretch in your thigh, you're probably doing it right. This is another one of those where it's a short video, so you may want to pause your video and hold this stretch for like 10 minutes. It's extra good that way. Maybe repeat it on each side about 5 times. And after your next exhale breath, release. Take your hands to either side of your foot and go for three-leg dog. Make it a really good one. Lift your leg high. Lift it high, lift it high, lift it high, lift it high. And lower your foot down. Take a breath in downward facing dog. And lower your knees to the ground. So now, you have some options. Grab your block in case you need it. And we'll take your right foot forward. So we're going for, this is a super quick video, right? We're going for Hanumanasana. And your first step in that is this half pyramid with your toes lifted. So you can come right here. And when you get into this pose, you want your big toe to press forward and then your right hip to move backwards. And your spine's going to lengthen forward. So you're going to get the most and the most even stretch through your hamstring. This is a great place to stay. You can hang out right here, and this is your version of Hanumanasana. Or you can start walking your front foot forward a little bit. Once you get it off your mat, it's a little easier. And this is where you might want your block. And if I turn around, so you can sort of see, you may have your block really high and sit your butt right on it. It's a little hard this high, but you can get it. And then you would sit down on your block and start to lengthen your spine forward. This might be where you are. You can have your block down a level, right? Once you start getting down a level, you have to walk your back knee back, just like we did in our pigeon pose. You might be here. Tailbone down, chest up. Same thing as pigeon pose. That's why we did pigeon pose. Take your block out if you're still feeling good. And then you want to think about drawing your right hip back so that you're even. Lift your heart up, reach your tailbone down, and then sink the whole thing. Hanumanasana. You can stay here. You can lift your arms up. Woo! You can lean forward. You can sit and laugh hysterically at the idea of doing Hanumanasana. But if you do one of the many things that we just talked about, you're going to be preparing for the pose. Now come out of it. There are many graceful ways to get out of it. Sitting on your side and swinging your leg around is a great one. Come to downward facing dog And switch sides. Lower your knees, step your left foot forward. Again, step one, right here. Find this half pyramid, reach your big toe forward, stick your rear back. Reach your chest forward. Breathe. Going farther, you might start to take your block onto any level. And especially if you're not quite warm enough, you can start on your block at whatever level you want. And once you get down, walk your back knee back. Check it out. Make sure it's going straight back behind you. And then make sure that your hips aren't opening like this. You want to be more closed so that you're getting a nice, even stretch through your pelvis. So don't sacrifice the alignment here for lowering down further. Then reach your tailbone down, lift your heart, lift your torso up. And now you feel things in your hip flexor up here. That's usually the place where you get it once you start lifting up. And if you want to go all the way down, that's great. Make sure that you're level in your pelvis. You're pretty straight here. So I like to squeeze my front heel and my back knee toward one another and get a little lift, get really straight, reach my tailbone down, and then sink the whole thing down. And then just smile to yourself because you made it. Maybe stretch your arms up. Maybe pause the video and hold it for a while longer because you got here, so you might as well hang out for a second. When you're ready, come out of the pose. Press back to downward facing dog. Take a breath. Lower down to child's pose. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.